Hey eggheads, Juan Carlos Bagnell here for Newegg Studios, and maybe you're a full-time filmmaker who's not used to working from home. You could be an up-and-coming creator just learning your craft, or you've recently gotten interested in streaming and YouTube production. The Newegg Ninjas and I have some handy tips to improve your home studio output. First up, setting up a filming space. I really miss having access to the studio we use at Newegg HQ, but I have a little home office that I share with my wife. It really comes in handy. Even if you can't dedicate a whole room for work, try to carve out a little space you can control, especially if that space has some depth to it. If you can keep your subject around 5 feet away from the wall behind it, you should be able to get that nice, soft background where your subject will pop on video. Then, light it up. This is one of the major challenges for my office. Lighting on the cheap. Natural light comes through my window at a stark angle and changes significantly through the day. Most of the time, I just keep the window covered with some blackout curtains so I can control and keep a consistent mood for the videos I'm shooting. That means I use a pretty crazy combination of lighting sources for different projects. Got a trio of China balls on the ceiling for ambient lighting. I've got some color changing bulbs in some gross old lamps I've had for almost a decade now. When I need a more controlled direct lighting source, I've got some LED panels, and those are the most expensive tools in my lighting collection. And the hilarious addition, when I'm shooting my talking head camera stuff, I have this old LED garage work lamp that I just bounce off the wall in front of me. If it's dumb, but it works, then it's not dumb. All of these different tools deliver the flexibility I need to light and stage different kinds of shots, even though the space I work in is pretty small. Next, if you don't already have a camera, picking up a camera can be a little overwhelming. We could produce a Ken Burns documentary series on different cameras for home production and still only be scratching the surface of that topic. The most important points for me, I wanted to buy into a system that I felt confident would stick around for a while and had decent lens selection. At Newegg, we use a combination of Sony and Blackmagic cameras depending on the project. At home, I opted for some Panasonic cameras as they were the least expensive options to deliver 4K video at 60 frames per second. But let's say you can't jump on a shiny new camera right now. I've been a long-time advocate of shooting from phones. If you're doing a good job controlling your light, you can do a lot with smartphone footage these days. LG phones include terrific manual controls, and you can use an app like Filmic on other devices to lock down your exposure settings. You can get some really crisp 4K footage at a decent bitrate from your pocket computer. Regardless which camera you pick, you'll want to pair that camera with a decent tripod and head. Now, a ball head is really quick for lining up different angles, but if you want some panning in your shots, you want some movement, you'll want to go with a fluid head. You'll get this nifty handle. If you have the room, a slider can really come in handy too. Movement in a shot helps deliver that professional polish for your B-roll. If you're tackling the whole production from soup to nuts, this might be your first time tackling audio. Just like camera lenses, there are different mics for different jobs. Talking on camera, you can decide if you want more of a radio look with the mic in the shot. You can position a shotgun slightly outside the frame, or you can use a lavalier clipped to a shirt for better proximity and mobility. I use all three in this office for different videos. A single USB mic is certainly an improvement over the mics built into a laptop, but they don't always afford the same flexibility as a dedicated USB audio interface and a microphone that will connect over an XLR cable. The nicer that mic gets, the more you need to consider the space you record in. A nicer mic will pick up more of your environment. Here in the office, I keep acoustic blankets on the walls, I threw a nasty shag carpet down on the ground, and the aforementioned blackout curtains over my window. Substituting packing blankets for proper acoustic blankets, there's a lot you can do on the cheap to help tame room tone and echoes. I'm totally biased, but for me, better audio is the secret sauce for making better videos. If this is new workflow for you, you might also be responsible for tackling more of your own editing. Final Cut and Adobe are probably the universal languages spoken for video editors. I still cut some of my content on Vegas Pro. Cyberlink solutions aren't bad either, but the program I'm getting more interested in personally is DaVinci Resolve. What started out as a great tool for color grading is now a fully featured video editing platform. And it's tough to beat a starting price of free. Lastly, with so much gear, especially lighting, you should probably invest in some studio protection. I use a decently sized UPS, uninterruptible power supply. I haven't tripped any breakers yet, but I don't want my workstation and equipment to hard crash if I ever lose power. Surge protectors, also pretty good idea. The more robust your setup gets, probably not a bad idea to know where a fire extinguisher might be. And it's always a good idea to talk to your home or renter's insurance about what your plan covers. And that's the gig. This is obviously just a starter video. We're only scratching the surface, but as all of us are feeling out some work-life transitions, it's good to know there are options to continue learning, improving, and growing your business. And if there are specific questions you'd like us to tackle, drop a comment down below. Maybe some topics we can expand on in the future. We'll have some more tips and tricks coming your way soon, so stay tuned to the Newegg Studio YouTube channel and check out the links below. We've got more articles and guides with suggestions on great gear to pick up. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing, and subscribing. For Newegg Studios, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, and I'll catch you all on the next video.